Cardi B says her life is in danger. Offset is trolling her online and the entire internet is picking sides. But the truth behind this drama is way darker than anyone is talking about. Watch this, because once you hear what's really happening, you won't look at this celebrity mess the same again. In recent days, Cardi B reportedly welcomed her fourth child, a milestone that immediately ignited a massive wave of online conversation. Social media platforms lit up with congratulations, commentary, and speculation, as they often do whenever a major celebrity makes a life update, especially one as personal and celebrated as the arrival of a new baby. Fans expressed everything from excitement to curiosity, while blogs and influencers rushed to cover the story from every possible angle. The public fascination wasn't just about the baby itself, it was also about the circumstances surrounding this birth, particularly because of Cardi B's high-profile relationships and the details that have unfolded over the past year. One of the biggest narrative threads circulating online is the rumor that the baby's father is NFL star Stefon Diggs. It's a claim that's been discussed repeatedly in fan circles, gossip pages, and commentary videos, even though none of the individuals involved have publicly confirmed or denied the rumor. This lack of official clarity has only made the speculation louder. People love to fill in the blanks when celebrities remain silent, and in this case, the internet has been working overtime. Still, despite all the noise, many fans are praising Cardi for maintaining her work ethic. Even while navigating pregnancy, public scrutiny, and personal challenges, she has continued producing content, promoting her brand, and preparing for upcoming projects. The narrative of her resilience has become a point of admiration for many, who feel inspired watching someone continue to push forward at such a high level. The idea of a woman balancing motherhood, fame, and career demands in the spotlight adds to the cultural conversation about working mothers and how society views them. Cardi's supporters have framed this moment as another example of her commitment and strength, celebrating her ability to juggle everything while staying visible and active in her industry. However, while this celebratory energy dominates the public-facing side of things, there is also a more complicated story unfolding privately between Cardi and her estranged husband, Offset. Their separation has been highly public, and fans have followed their ups, downs, reconciliations, and conflicts for years. It's no secret that their relationship has been turbulent, often reflected in the emotional tweets, cryptic posts, interviews, and occasional appearances they've made together. With this recent development, the arrival of a new baby not fathered by him, the tension appears to have deepened.
Talk enough about baby daddies who happen to be bed bugs and bitter, but today we will. Now, before we get back to Megan Thee Stallion and Malaka Graham's trial, let's get to some other news. First up, this bed bug. Now, in a post and delete, Offset had posted, "My kid, LOL." And you already know exactly who he and what he's referring to. And shout out to My Mixtapes for capturing this tweet before Cardi B had deleted it. And after Offset had posted that, she said, "Y'all be thinking it's so funny, and it's not. It's been over a year, and I'm still being harassed and threatened to the point that I feel like that my life is in danger. It's all fun and games until it's too late." Now, after Cardi B had posted that, she then taken to online, and here's what she had to say in regard to Offset and that funny little story, which is not so funny.
Even though the two have already moved forward with divorce proceedings, sources say Offset still hasn't finalized the paperwork. This delay has raised questions among fans and commentators alike. Some speculate that he is hesitant, others believe he may still have emotional ties, and others think there's a more practical explanation. He reportedly wants specific terms included before he agrees to sign. In most high-profile divorces, details like property rights, financial arrangements, custody terms, and long-term obligations can become lengthy points of negotiation. Both individuals have brands, assets, and reputations to protect, which makes even the smallest decision carry extra weight. The legal process alone can be complicated, but when paired with the emotional layers of a breakup, especially between two public figures, those complications multiply. Every detail becomes content for online discussion, every delay sparks a new rumor, and every silence becomes an invitation for someone to fill in the gaps. It's possible that Offset wants certain protections, amendments, or financial considerations handled before he signs the final documents. Divorce at their level is rarely straightforward. Meanwhile, Offset's behavior on social media has added more fuel to the fire. He's posted several comments and reactions that many people interpret as subtle jabs, indirect references, or trolling aimed at Cardi. Some see these posts as harmless pettiness, others view them as expressions of unresolved feelings, and some interpret them as strategic moves meant to influence public perception during the divorce. Regardless of his intentions, the posts have amplified the drama and kept the topic trending across platforms. It's not unusual for celebrities to communicate indirectly through social media, sometimes through memes, sometimes through lyrics, sometimes through cryptic statements that only those close to them truly understand. For fans, decoding these posts becomes a sport. They analyze every word, every emoji, every timestamp, hoping to find hidden meaning. In Offset's case, the posts have created an impression that he is trying to get under Cardi's skin or send a message without addressing her directly. This dynamic reflects a larger pattern that has existed throughout their relationship. Both Cardi and Offset have, at various times, taken to social media to express emotion, frustration, affection, or confusion. Their followers have watched apologies, arguments, reconciliations, and shocking revelations unfold in real time. This level of public exposure has essentially turned their relationship into an ongoing storyline, one that people feel invested in whether they want to be or not. Now, with a new baby entering the picture, one allegedly fathered by someone else, the emotional stakes feel higher than ever. For many observers, this has added a new layer of complexity to the narrative. Some fans sympathize with Cardi, applauding her for trying to move forward after experiencing past hurt. Others sympathize with Offset, believing that being replaced and watching from afar must be difficult. And then there are those who simply watch without taking sides, viewing the entire situation as part of the celebrity ecosystem that thrives on drama. Despite all this public chaos, the truth is that the real details of their divorce remain known only to the people directly involved. No one online truly knows the conversations happening behind closed doors. But what's clear is that the situation is emotionally charged, and the public nature of their lives makes healing, separation, and negotiation far more complicated than it would be for most people. Cardi continues moving forward with her career, balancing motherhood and public life. Offset continues navigating the emotional and legal aspects of the divorce while maintaining his own work and image. And the internet, as always, continues to react, speculate, praise, criticize, and watch the story unfold. One post, one rumor, one update at a time.
But the fact that you asking for spousal support is very telling that the money's getting low. And the way that you're acting is making people not want to really, making brands not really, like, come on now. Your behavior that you're exuding is getting very concerning. Seriously. Leave her alone. Like, weren't you the one that was cheating? Weren't you the one that ruined your marriage?
Women online have been reacting strongly to Offset's recent "My kid LOL" comment, which many interpreted as him claiming he's still involved with Cardi B and that Stefon Diggs isn't the father of her newest baby. Most people don't take this claim seriously, not only because it feels unlikely, but because it would be unbelievably messy if true. What stands out more is that Offset has reportedly asked for spousal support, which many see as a sign he's not in the strongest financial position. His behavior on social media has also left some brands hesitant to associate with him. From the outside looking in, people are genuinely concerned about the energy he's been putting out. Critics also point out the contradiction. Wasn't Offset the one caught cheating? Wasn't he the one who contributed to the breakdown of the marriage? Cardi B herself has hinted at this, reminding him that he sabotaged the relationship. Cardi eventually responded through a series of tweets, which she deleted, and later addressed the situation during a live stream. In that emotional moment, she explained that she has reached her limit. She said she sometimes wakes up wondering how her life got to this point, noting that what she's feeling isn't normal. She spoke about seeing true crime stories and social media reports of women being harmed, and admitted that although she's tough, there's a difference between being strong and dealing with someone who has an unhealthy fixation on you. According to her, the situation has become worrying and exhausting. She talked about trying to handle things quietly, reaching out to family, attempting to keep the peace, but nothing has changed. Instead, She feels trapped in a cycle that won't end. She doesn't want this drama overshadowing her career or accomplishments, yet she feels like she's living in a nightmare. While some people online find the drama entertaining, she stressed that there's nothing funny about dealing with someone who struggles with substances or mental health issues while simultaneously feeling unsafe. Cardi also called out men on social media who encourage Offset to be petty. She argued that it's irresponsible to egg on someone who may not be stable, especially when she's a mother raising children. She pushed back against people dismissing her concerns, saying that if others saw the messages she receives, they wouldn't laugh, not if it were their sister, mother, or cousin in the same position. To her, this isn't a competition or a game. She's moved on with her life and wants peace. She expressed frustration with the broader culture of men not taking accountability, often supported by families who enable them. She insisted she has tried to be the bigger person, but the situation keeps escalating. Now, regarding the argument about Offset ruining the relationship through cheating, legally, Cardi cited irreconcilable differences in the divorce filing, not infidelity. Cheating may have played a role emotionally, but it wasn't listed as the primary reason. And if infidelity were the main issue, critics point out that Stefan Diggs, rumored to be involved with Cardi, also has multiple children on the way with other women, meaning exclusivity isn't present there either. In that sense, the cheating argument becomes more complicated. What some commentators don't like about this situation is that Cardi is now framing herself as a victim worried for her safety. She referenced movies and true crime cases, suggesting Offset's behavior feels stalkerish. Detractors argue that this narrative seems exaggerated. They also bring up past incidents involving Cardi. For example, a few months ago, she was accused of being petty by styling Offset's son's hair to resemble Stefan Diggs' hairstyle, something many believed was intended to provoke Offset. He reacted strongly enough that he briefly deleted his Twitter account. At the time, he issued a warning saying that using his child for trolling could end badly. Even some of Cardi's own fans felt she crossed a line. Critics argue that Cardi can't claim victimhood now while ignoring moments where she escalated situations in the past, including calling Offset names publicly and disrespecting him while he remained relatively quiet. They believe she's positioning herself this way to strengthen her case in court. According to this theory, she's preparing to argue that Offset is harassing or intimidating her in order to reduce how much money she might have to pay in the divorce. From this perspective, everything happening online becomes evidence she could bring to court to justify settling the divorce for less. But the reality remains, Cardi is the higher-earning spouse, so she may have to pay regardless of how the narrative unfolds. On the other hand, critics say Offset is trolling because it's entertaining and because he knows he may receive a financial win in the divorce. They argue that if Cardi didn't want these issues, she should never have married someone who wasn't aligned with her values or level of commitment. They also claim that her new situation isn't much better, as Stefan Diggs has also not shown signs of exclusivity. In the end, they say no matter how many fans support Cardi publicly, those fans won't be in the courtroom when financial decisions are made. They believe Offset isn't going to jeopardize his payout by doing anything extreme. He's simply poking at her online because he knows it gets under her skin. Some people believe that despite everything that has happened, Offset still has lingering feelings for Cardi B. They may have both moved on with their lives, but in his mind, there's no reason for him to harm her, especially not when the relationship is already over. Another point raised in the commentary is that Cardi's new situation with Stefan Diggs doesn't appear stable, given claims that he has multiple children on the way. Commentators argue that, in their view, a man typically won't fully commit to a woman in a situation like that. So when Cardi chose to have another child with someone who allegedly isn't invested long-term, critics believe Offset lost any remaining respect he had for her. In their eyes, once a relationship ends and both people go their separate ways romantically, that chapter is permanently closed. From that perspective, Offset's priority now is the divorce settlement. According to this line of thinking, if he's struggling financially, he's going to push for the payout he believes he is owed. He has reportedly moved on, has other relationships, and is simply ready to finalize everything. Commentators also speculate about the future. They claim that in 10 years, Offset may still have options and be able to attract partners easily. while Cardi B might be in a very different place career-wise. They believe Stefon Diggs will likely move on as well, and Cardi will be left maintaining whatever fanbase she still has. Whether this prediction is fair or not, it reflects the tone of the original argument, that time may favor Offset differently than it favors her. Some people argue that Offset isn't as emotionally affected as fans assume. He already has several children with Cardi. He knows the relationship is over, and he's comfortable with that. If trolling her online gives him a sense of satisfaction or leverage during the divorce, critics believe he'll continue doing it, not out of love, but out of pettiness and strategy. And regarding Cardi's claims of receiving threats, these commentators say that if she truly had evidence of direct threats from Offset, she would have released it publicly. Because she hasn't, they believe she may be exaggerating the narrative to strengthen her position in court. From their perspective, the quickest solution is simple: pay the settlement, finalize the divorce, and allow everyone involved to finally move forward. Supporters of this viewpoint argue that dragging out the process only prolongs the emotional strain on both sides and gives the public more time to dissect every detail. In their eyes, the longer the divorce remains unresolved, the more opportunities arise for misunderstandings, petty exchanges, and escalating tension. After all, when two people share children, unresolved conflict tends to spill into co-parenting dynamics, making even routine interactions more stressful. To them, this situation looks like typical breakup drama magnified by fame, the kind of turbulence often seen in relationships where shared history is intertwined with hurt feelings, public scrutiny, and unresolved wounds. When celebrities separate, their personal issues don't simply stay personal. They become amplified through headlines, commentary channels, and social media reactions. Every cryptic post becomes a potential message, every silence becomes a statement, and every rumor becomes fodder for analysis. So, from the outside looking in, paying the settlement and closing this chapter seems like the cleanest way to stop the cycle and prevent further emotional damage. People who subscribe to this viewpoint also emphasize the emotional toll these prolonged disputes take on children. Even if kids aren't directly reading the headlines or scrolling through social media, they inevitably pick up on tension, distance, and shifting routines. Co-parenting requires stability, communication, and mutual respect, all of which are much harder to achieve when the adults involved remain locked in ongoing legal or emotional conflict. In that sense, the idea of pay, sign, and move on isn't just about the adults. It's about creating a calmer environment for the children as well. The commentary ends by suggesting that much of this turmoil could have been avoided entirely if both parties had chosen partners who were more aligned with their lifestyles, values, and long-term goals. The idea isn't that either person is inherently flawed, but rather that compatibility matters, especially in high-pressure relationships where fame, money, public expectations, and personal insecurities are constantly at play. When two people are mismatched in communication styles, emotional needs, maturity levels, or visions for the future, those cracks eventually show. Even outside the celebrity world, choosing a partner who shares your values often leads to fewer conflicts during major life decisions. Raising children, managing finances, navigating career demands, or balancing public versus private life. The original commentary delivered this point harshly, but the underlying message mirrors a widely known truth. Long-term compatibility is one of the strongest predictors of long-term relational stability. In this case, the argument is that Cardi and Offset came from very different backgrounds, had very different career pressures, and were thrust into the spotlight under intense circumstances. While passion and chemistry may have carried the early stages of their relationship, the deeper foundational differences allegedly caused long-term friction. Add fame, intense fan scrutiny, and the constant media presence, and those differences become even harder to ignore. Supporters of this analysis argue that the chaos seen today, the public arguments, emotional live streams, trolling posts, and legal delays, reflects underlying incompatibilities that were never fully resolved from the start. It's a reminder, they say, that relationships built on excitement alone struggle when faced with real-world challenges. Stability requires more than love. It requires shared direction, emotional maturity, and the ability to communicate without constant escalation. Ultimately, the message isn't about blaming one person or the other. It's about recognizing that mismatched partnerships tend to lead to complicated endings. And when the people involved are public figures, those complications play out on the widest possible stage. The commentary closes with a somewhat sobering reminder. Choosing a partner wisely may not prevent all conflict, but it can prevent the kind of long-term chaos that follows when two very different worlds collide and eventually fall apart under the full spotlight of public attention.